Good morning and welcome to the launch of Black History Month Southampton 2021 here at the Mast Mayflower Studios. This morning, this is our second year of running our virtual launch, but fingers crossed we'll be returning to our live launch next year. With me today are my colleagues and co-presenters Veronica Gordon, the founder of Our Version Media, and my good friend and colleague Rowe, coordinator of Black History Month South. Welcome to Black History Month 2021. I'd like to hand over to Aidan Grounds, who is a creative producer at Mast Mayflower Studios, to open our event.
Hello. Welcome to Mast Mayflower Studios. I'm Aidan Grounds and I'm creative producer here at Mast Mayflower Studios. We're delighted to be the host venue for the launch of Black History Month and to partner with Black History Month South. They have so much brilliant and important activity planned throughout this month of October and beyond that will celebrate Black stories, voices and histories. Thank you to Lou, Olu and the team at Black History Month South for all their hard work and planning. The last 18 months has been an extraordinary and challenging time for us all, and this month's events are an important opportunity to bring us together. At both the Mayflower Theatre and Mast Mayflower Studios, we are a home for all of Southampton's communities. We're determined that undiscovered or hidden stories and voices are given a platform, and Black History Month is and will continue to be a key part of our activity. Personally, Black History Month is an opportunity and a reminder to celebrate my own family's West Indian and Caribbean heritage. My grandmother arrived in Southampton as part of the Windrush generation from St Vincent and the Grenadines and made Southampton her home. Her story and our family's story is just one of the many instances which have countless stories of challenge, heartache, joy and celebration that must continue to be told so the diversity, multiculturalism and Black history of both the South and the UK continue to be championed. This month at Mast, we are celebrating Black History Month with events including Our Version Media's Proud to Be on the 25th of October, West End star and beloved leading lady of musicals, including Dreamgirls, Waitress, Book of Mormon, and most recently Hairspray, Marisa Wallace, performing this Sunday, the 3rd of October, and Rush Theatre Company's A Joyous Jamaican Journey. While Black History Month is an important focus for our activity, we want to make sure our activity continues throughout the year, so we are working with Southwest-based Tangle Theatre Company, who create and champion African and Caribbean artistic excellence, and we have productions planned with them for 2022 and beyond, as well as our resident partner here at Mast, Our Version Media. At the Mayflower over the next couple of years, we have Black-led musicals and dance shows, including Dreamgirls and Oti Mabuso's dance show, plus others which are still to be announced. Through our Engage programme, we work with community groups to ensure culture is accessible for all in Southampton. Most importantly, we believe that Black and global majority communities will engage with our work if their lives and faces are reflected on stage. Therefore, we've been working hard to diversify our youth theatre, and although we're on a long journey, we're beginning to see the fruits of this. This Christmas, Peter Pan, an awfully big musical adventure, will see a company which is truly reflective of Southampton's communities on stage here at Mast. And we'll continue to work with brilliant groups, including To The Youth, Golden Eaglets, and Feed the Community. So there are many other organisations who are also doing brilliant work for Black History Month and beyond, and the passion of Veronica, Lou, Olu and the Black History Month team gives a real focus to the activity both this month and beyond. So I'm delighted to say that this year's Black History Month South events are launched, and I'll now hand over to Veronica, founder of Our Version Media.
Thank you, Aidan. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Black History Month South. Thank you for being here for our launch. Now, our keynote speaker today rocketed to fame in 2012 when she won MasterChef with her yummy Mauritian food. Since then, she has worked on various TV projects such as Lorraine, This Morning, Sunday Brunch and The Food Network. Her first book, Sunshine on a Plate, was published by Ebury Press in 2013 and contains recipes inspired by Mauritius. Her second book, The Sunshine Diet, was published in 2015. She recently appeared on Saturday Kitchen, has been a regular judge back on MasterChef, a panellist on the esteemed Radio 4 show The Kitchen Cabinet, chaired by restaurant critic Jay Rayner, has an amazing restaurant in Southampton called La Case Maman, and is an ambassador for Southampton's City of Culture bid. I am pleased to welcome Shelina Permalloo.
Thank you so much, Veronica. There was only one thing missing off the list, and I'm also a mother of a 4-year-old, so I've managed to cram that in as well. So a little bit of background about me. Back in 2012, when I won MasterChef, I was the first woman of colour to win a national TV cooking show. It was groundbreaking at the time, but it was also absolutely terrifying. I remember a few months after I'd won, I did a few stages in some professional kitchens. Now, a stage is a voluntary work placement, free of charge, where you get to learn the industry and how people cook. Now, this was a very prestigious restaurant. It was a Michelin restaurant, and I arrived to conduct a night with me, and it was called Taste of an Island with Shelina Permalloo, MasterChef winner. So when I arrived with my rucksack filled with my knives, the lady who was the host at the door of the restaurant ushered me all the way to the kitchen, handed me over a washing up apron, thinking that I was going to be the kitchen porter for the night. Now, she was absolutely mortified, but back then this was very natural, and it was a natural assumption to assume that a woman of colour, and based on my height, I think she just assumed I would be a kitchen porter, but she didn't know I'd won MasterChef. We all have these assumptions, and Black History Month is a way of breaking down those assumptions. Before my life of cooking on TV and running a professional kitchen, I actually completed a psychology degree at Brunel University in West London. Straight after uni, I landed a job in Southampton on a diversity project. As part of my orientation, I needed to find out more about the issues bespoke to the city. And so I remember I was told, you must meet a man called Don John. I remember being enthralled by his passion and his mind, and I coined him in my own mind, my very own Malcolm X. Southampton made this man who he is, impassioned and creative, and at the same time I was now ready to hit the streets and change the world. I owe a lot of my diversity passion to Don, as he helped me see the reality of the struggle, which wasn't always going to be exciting or groundbreaking. In fact, I spent 10 years working in the field of equality and diversity, beating the drum in various sectors across private, third, and public sector. I then nosedived quickly out of the industries as I was frustrated that the impact of my work wasn't really changing people's minds. And so I realized that I needed to channel my own creativity. I realized one thing, that food is the conduit for change. No matter who you are, your status, or what color you are, you can bring anyone to a table, and good food breaks down those barriers. That's why I ended up in food, and I felt that I would be able to continue my fight of diversity around a dining table. Black History Month is always a very special time of year, as we're able to really showcase the impact of our local black communities, artists, businesses, and people. It's an honor to be here today as a woman of color, born and bred in Southampton. I am from Africa, but I am not black, and that is a very important statement. Celebrating blackness does mean understanding why black history is relevant and why Black Lives Matter vocalized so prominently on social media last year. It's become incredibly salient to realize that black lives still matter. And it is the black communities that are persistently underrepresented in core facets of political, social, and business life. We need to celebrate our talent and harness our communities to ensure that they can reach their full potential. Yes, Black History Month is only 1 month, but it can sometimes be that month that catalysts change. As we spend the month in celebration of our leaders of black rights, such as Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, and Rosa Parks, it's also important to cast a closer lens on people in the UK that continue to have marked changes to the black British rhetoric, such as Akala, David Olusoga, Una King, Nicola Adams, to name a few. Locally, we've had the opportunity to have some great influencers who've placed Southampton firmly on the map, such as Craig David and more recently Tyrone, and also local pioneers connecting black businesses to the city, such as Veronica. I was the first woman of colour to win MasterChef back in 2012, and I'm thankful and that it paved the way for many other women of colour to progress in this industry. I did decide to return to Southampton to grow my business, as I believed this city would benefit from the diversity of food that my Mauritian street kitchen is able to offer. I also run an all-female management team, which I'm incredibly proud of, and this is quite unusual for this particular industry and hospitality. Thank you for your time, and I hope this month provides you all with that quarter turn you need to enable change within your own workplaces and within your own lives. Don't be scared to ask questions, and don't be scared to be bold, because often being bold is what will enable change. Thank you all, and enjoy Black History Month.
Thank you so much for that, Shelina. You've clearly used your inspiration to inspire many others, and surprisingly struck exactly the right tone with your message, so thanks again. Hampshire Constabulary have been a long-term supporter of Black History Month. And here with this next message is the Chief Constable, Olivia Pinkney.
I'm Olivia Pinkney, the Chief Constable here in Hampshire Constabulary, and it is a real joy to be here and part of Black History Month. As a senior police officer in the UK, as the senior leader here in Hampshire Constabulary, I'm really proud of policing in the UK, of where we have such a rich and diverse culture and communities with such strong heritage of tolerance and understanding. Yes, there is more to do, of course there is, but we have an awful lot to be proud of. When I consider this year's theme of Black women in history, from a policing perspective, it takes me to only one place, and that makes me think of Cislin Faye Allen. Cislin was the first female Black police officer in the UK. She joined the Metropolitan Police in 1968 and sadly passed away this year. Cislin was part of the Windrush generation. She'd arrived in Britain only 6 years before and had been working as a nurse in a London hospital. And she saw adverts for the Met, and she fancied a change in career where she could help in a very different way for her local communities, and she never looked back. She stayed with the Met for only 4 years, but she always spoke in her lifetime of how wonderful those years were, about how she had such a privilege of serving her local communities in London. And she did so much more than that. She helped to change opinions and attitudes about what British policing should do and could do. And I'm very, very grateful to Cislin, and we all stand upon her shoulders. And of course, she's a very high-profile woman in policing, but we also rarely speak, do we, of those influential Black women from history and today who are mothers, who are carers, who are friends, who are allies for other Black women, who support and encourage them to take up their positions, to follow their dreams and achieve against what seem against all the odds. Cislin at the time could not have known how inspirational her appointment would be to other women from Black backgrounds. But since that time in UK policing, we have seen her numbers grow and people follow in her footsteps. Many, many Black women now succeeding and thriving in UK policing, and with many, many more reaching the most senior ranks. Progress isn't as fast as I would like, but it is progress. And the police service remains committed to ensuring that Cislin's legacy lives on, and that we will, in the not too distant future, I hope, be able to add the first Black female Chief Constable to our list of Black women in history.
Thank you so much for that, Olivia. I personally feel that we've never been in better hands under Olivia's leadership here in Hampshire, although there's a lot more work to be done, of course. Now, I could literally wax lyrical about this next item. Ebony G is a singer, songwriter, performer, who came to Southampton as a student. She then lingered beyond her student life, making a huge impact and very many friends. She's a former host of a Black History Launch event, and is a passionate voice in equality, diversity and inclusion. She runs her own entertainment business agency, which is Blackbird Entertainment. She also runs Little Voices in West Kent. She's a dear friend, but most significantly, she is mother to a new son, Malik, who's the brother of her first child, Luther, and she's going to do a song for us here. Taken from her album, I Am Beautiful Inspiration, this is Ebony G.
Hi, my name is Ebony G, and this is my song Woman of Worth. Shine in the sky, created trees to climb so high. For me before my time on earth, placed in me a woman of worth. You made the oceans and the seas, gave life to everything that breathes, invented dreams for me since birth, placed in me a woman of worth. I am divinely designed and fearfully made, one of a kind in every way. You made me to shine, and now I can see the worth that you have placed in me. I am a daughter of the King. I will forever worship him, falling in love because you love me first, placed in me a woman of worth. I am divinely designed and fearfully made, one of a kind in every way. You made me to shine, and now I can see the worth that you have placed in me. So be mothers, be sisters, be teachers, be leaders, be all that you can be. Have virtue, have patience, be kind and be gracious. Our God has set us free. So be mothers, be sisters, be teachers, be leaders, be all that you can be. Have virtue, have patience, be kind and be gracious. Our God has set us free. I'm divinely designed and fearfully made, one of a kind in every way. You made me to shine, and now I can see the worth that you have placed in me. You made the stars shine in the sky, created trees to climb so high. For me before my time on earth, placed in me a woman of worth.
Thank you, Ebony G, for such a fantastic presentation, fantastic song. Thank you so much. So each year, we like to acknowledge individuals that have made a significant contribution to the black and ethnic communities in Southampton and in Hampshire. And this year, we have 3 individuals that we feel deserve recognition. 2 have been nominated by the Basingstoke Caribbean Society and Friends, an organisation that's keeping African and Caribbean cultures alive in Basingstoke. Their motto is know your heritage and go forward with positivity. So our first award goes to Mrs. Millicent Hylton.
Black History Month. We always give out our awards once. We give out 3 awards every year, and this year, nominated by the Basingstoke Caribbean Society, is a lovely lady that I've met today, Mrs. Millicent Hylton, and congratulations.
Thanks very, very much. This is unique.
For all the fantastic work she's done in the community over the last how many years?
Nearly 30 years or so? 40.
We're here with Grace. Grace, say hi.
Hi. Absolutely wonderful. 40 years of unstinting work, the last 30 years in particular, where, doing work specifically for the Caribbean Society and also for the wider community in doing the community health walk in Basingstoke as one of the leaders of that, and just being a community champion, someone you can call on for her nursing talents and ability and for her community abilities. Her representation of Miss Lou, everyone knows about it in our parks and in all our Black History Month events. Yes, Auntie Millie is absolutely astounding. Thank you.
So I'm so pleased to have met Auntie Millie. I'm allowed to call
Auntie
you that.
Millie, yes,
Auntie Millie. I have a new auntie. I have a new auntie in my life.
Well, you're welcome here.
And congratulations.
I
It's
thank
wonderful
you.
to meet you.
So our next award goes to a man we had the pleasure of meeting last week, Nkeundum Giddeon Angafor. Now Giddeon is a husband, father and grandfather. He's lived in Basingstoke since 2005 and is a decorated knight of the Bambui Fondom. So Nkeundum means pathfinder and is a traditional knighthood bestowed on him in recognition of his services to the Bambui community at home in the Cameroon and abroad. He's a pioneer secretary to the Board of Trustees of the Basingstoke Multicultural Forum, called the BMF, and has worked with other community organisations like the Basingstoke Caribbean Society and Friends, the Hindu Society and other community organisations to build the BMF between 2013 and 2016. He's also a talented DJ and has often applied his DJ skills to perfection while supporting the Basingstoke Caribbean Society and other organisations during cultural and special events like the Black History Month and other significant celebrations. And this is how we met.
Here we are at our second trip in Basingstoke, and I'm very pleased to welcome Nkeundum Giddeon Angafor as one of our recipients of the Black History Month South Award this year. He was nominated by the Basingstoke Caribbean Society. He's done a lot of work in the community in Basingstoke, and congratulations.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to have received this, and what do I say, I'm kind of surprised and honored.
Well, it shouldn't be a surprise, not from all the things that we've heard that you've been doing. So congratulations, and thank you so much for inviting us into your home.
Thank you very much, and my regards to Black History Month South. Thank you once again.
Thank you.
am particularly delighted to present this year's third and final award. It's to a young woman who I am privileged to call a friend. Keesha Edwards is from Southampton. She's a former National Diversity Award winner for Positive Role Model for Race, Religion and Faith. She's the mother of 2 toddlers, aged 1 and 2. She's the owner of a mobile popcorn business and a dedicated supporter of young people and the city's ethnic communities. Keesha has worked as a youth mentor in Southampton, helping teenagers into education and careers. She has created projects for children at her family church to teach valuable life skills through supporting local charities. Keesha is also the presenter on Unity 101 Community Radio. She has been co-presenting the Black Community Show, celebrating the lives and cultures of Southampton's African, Caribbean and Black British communities for 10 years alongside myself. And she's here today to receive her Black History Month South Award. Keesha Edwards.
To say a big thank you to the Black History Month South team. This really, really is such an honour, and I feel so privileged to receive this award after attending so many Black History Month launches and just really commending those who have previously won this award. I'm truly honoured, so thank you so much, and I must say there's a lot more to come.
Many congratulations, Keesha. So well deserved. Now, Southampton is preparing to enter a bid for the City of Culture 2025. We are fortunate to have leading the charge for Southampton, on behalf of Southampton, Claire Whitaker, OBE, Director of Southampton City of Culture. I'd like to welcome Claire to say a few words.
Hello, my name's Claire Whitaker, and many of you here today will know me by now, but for those who don't, I'm your bid director and I'm leading Southampton's drive to become a UK City of Culture in 2025. Thank you for giving me the opportunity today to update you on our plans and progress and also the timeline for the competition. In terms of my background, I've spent 30 years in roles within culture and wider society, running my own events and music organisation for much of that time. Over the years, I have been involved in many of our national moments, including Manchester Commonwealth Games, Queen's Golden Jubilee, London 2012 Olympics, Hull and Coventry UK City of Culture programmes, and the opening ceremony for the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting in Buckingham Palace. As well as working across the UK, I have extensive experience of working internationally across Europe, West and Southern Africa, the Caribbean and North America. This role as bid director for Southampton brings all my experience together, and the competition shows the way that culture can bring together communities and enable prosperity, profile for our city, improvement for our business communities and our residents. So what is UK City of Culture? Hopefully by now many of you know what UK City of Culture is, but in case you don't, it is a designation given to a city in the UK for a period of 1 year. Its aim is to give other cities the opportunity to experience similar success to Liverpool, which was European Capital of Culture in 2008. The competition is administered by the Department of Digital, Culture, Media and Sport and has a panel of independent judges. The designation of UK City of Culture brings tangible economic, cultural and social benefits leading up to, during and beyond the year that the city holds the status. So what would the winning UK City of Culture mean to Southampton? Well, it would drive our recovery in the context of COVID-19. It would put Southampton and the wider region on the map nationally and internationally. It would generate economic impact and create a global competitive advantage which would attract investment. It would raise aspirations and skills in the workforce. It would lead to the establishment of new businesses and the creation of quality jobs to attract and retain talent. It would create a sense of civic pride and a strong sense of place, identity, well-being and community connections. And it would place cultural regeneration at the heart of the city. So what is the timeline that we've been working to? Well, in April, we finished our main consultation process and we developed our themes from April onwards. In May, there was the publication of the bid guidance. In July, we had to put in our expression of interest by the 19th of July, actually. And then in September, the judging panel were announced, and they also said that the decision of long list bids will be by the end of September. Also, this month, they released the full application and guidance along with confirmation of the judging panel, and I'll go through that in a minute. And then if we get long listed, the deadline for the full submission is the 26th of January 2022. In March, the shortlist is revealed with 4 locations being shortlisted, and all long-listed bids will receive feedback. Also in March, the shortlisted locations will receive a visit from the judging panel, and we will have to present to that panel on our detailed plans. Then in April, the judges' recommendations on the winning bid goes to the DCMS Ministers and Secretary of State for DCMS. And then in May 2022 is the announcement of the winning city. As well as preparing our bid, we are aware the judges will be scrutinising everything that we do, so that we're going to be mounting a series of events over the next few months which signal the intent of the bid and give an opportunity to showcase Southampton's need and potential. So who is bidding for UK City of Culture 2025? This competition has seen a bumper year of applications to become UK City of Culture. Many locations looking upon this prize as a means to aid their recovery in the context of the pandemic. For the first time, the DCMS changed the criteria of the competition, meaning you no longer need to be a city. Therefore, the following locations are now formally part of the competition: Armagh City, Banbridge and Craigavon, the City of Bangor and North West Wales, the border regions comprising Dumfries, Galloway and the Scottish borders, Northumberland, Cumbria and Carlisle City, Bradford, Conway County, Cornwall, Derby, County Durham, Lancashire, Medway, City of Newport, Powys, Southampton, Stirling, the Tay City regions, Torbay and Exeter, Wakefield District, City of Wolverhampton, Wrexham County Borough, Great Yarmouth and East Suffolk. On the 7th of September, we received the full guidance for the next stage of the bidding process, and also the judging panel were announced. And this includes representatives from all areas of the UK and from a wide spread of culture. These are Sir Phil Redmond, Claire McColgan, Lynn Best, Nick Capaldi, Roberta Doyle, Martin Henderson, Andrew Barnett, Rebecca Matthews, Aidan McGinley, Detail Nakajama and Jamie Njuko Goodwin. In terms of our support, over 130 businesses and cultural organisations across the city confirmed their support by providing a letter of support for the expression of interest application. We've managed to increase membership and patronage of our business-to-business forum, the Gateway Club. We've got long-term partnerships committed for 6 years. We've got partnership levels, including Premier Partners, City Partners, Seasonal Partners and Regional Partners. We've got partnerships developed with key city stakeholders, including University of Southampton, Solent University, Southampton Football Club, Hampshire Constabulary and Solent LEP. We've been absolutely thrilled by the level of support that we've received from the city. And at a workshop in Coventry, Sir Phil Rudman, the chair of the judges for the UK City of Culture, said he was looking for a city that is coming together beyond the cultural sector, and that certainly is us. We've also managed to get regional support from our 9 neighbouring local authorities who are supporting through investment and communications with a view to developing a regional tourism offer. This includes Bournemouth, Christchurch and Poole, Eastleigh, Fareham, Gosport, Hampshire, Isle of Wight, New Forest, Portsmouth and Winchester. One of the things that's come out really strongly in the bid guidance is the importance of a diverse and inclusive bid. With our consultation process complete, we've identified that many residents feel Southampton is a diverse city and are proud of that diversity. And it was great to hear that from our consultation, but we also need to recognise there is much to be done in the city to improve inclusivity, as many of our local organisations and businesses do not reflect this within the makeup of their members and staff. Looking at how we can become more of an inclusive. Our work to date has ensured that the content of workshops reflect the lived experience of those who are not yet adequately represented in the cultural and corporate organisations in our city. A supporting objective was to listen to the voices of underrepresented groups throughout the process and enable them to drive the conversations we are having with our partners to make Southampton a more inclusive city. The input of community representatives from across the city is fundamental to the design of the workshops and to the pledge framework. For inspiration, we look to the Key Change initiative, an international initiative which has inspired over 300 festivals and music organisations to make a pledge to achieve a 50-50 gender balance in their workforce and programming by 2022. Taking their approach as a starting point, we are working together to help organisations identify and define how they're going to become more inclusive and how this can be an integral part of the UK City of Culture journey. Working with Dr. Jan McKenley and AJ Chapra as our inclusion consultants to support and deliver the workshops with our Southampton 2025 and John Hansard teams. Dr. Jan McKenley has an outstanding track record in the areas of diversity and increasing participation, and Ajay Chapra is a Southampton resident and has an international representative for culture. So far they have supported organisations across Southampton in their understanding and their pledge requirements. I think this is a really important initiative for the city, and I think it will be a distinctive part of our bid. And now finally, I've been asked to talk about some women of colour who have made a huge contribution to history, and I'd like to choose three. I'm lucky enough to have met and worked with all of these three people, these three amazing women. The first is Angelique Kidjo, an amazing singer from Benin and a performer with phenomenal energy. She's fluent in 5 languages: Fon, French, Yoruba, Gen and English. She had to leave Benin due to continuing political conflicts and was relocated to Paris in 1983. She's a 4-time Grammy Award winner and a UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador, a passionate campaigner for children's rights, climate change and girls' education. And one of the quotes that I really admire from her is, "I believe music is a language beyond the colour of skin, country or culture. I want to inspire people to work to help educate, nourish and protect our children." She's an amazing woman with just the most phenomenal energy, and she certainly is somebody, when I need a bit of energy, I listen to her music. The next person I really admire is Doreen Lawrence, Baroness Lawrence of Clarendon. You will know who she is, I'm sure, but she's a British Jamaican campaigner and mother of Stephen Lawrence. She's fought for justice for her son and other victims of racist crime, and she founded the Stephen Lawrence Charitable Trust to promote a positive community legacy in her son's name. Her quote that I most admire is, "I'm hoping for an inclusive society for everyone to live their best life, regardless of gender, race, sexuality, religion, disability or background." And for me, that quote really frames our bid for UK City of Culture. It's for everyone in Southampton to live their best life, regardless of gender, race, sexuality, religion, disability or background. And then lastly, Baroness Valerie Amos. I met Valerie when we were both working in South Africa in 1995, and we were both working with the ANC at that time. She's a woman of many firsts, and her professional achievements are many. She was the UN Under-Secretary General for Humanitarian Affairs. She was British High Commissioner to Australia. She was leader of the House of Lords, director of SOAS, and now she's running one of the Oxford colleges. And I'm very proud to call her a friend and colleague for a very, very long time. So I'd just like to say thank you. Thank you for inviting me to speak, and have a wonderful Black History Month.
Thank you, Claire. To borrow a popular chant regarding the bid, I think we can all agree that it is coming home. Now, our theme this year is Black Women in History, #HerStory. And to mark this year's launch, we have a short presentation on that theme, starting with students from St George's College in Southampton.
I am proud to be black. I am proud to be black because when I let my hair down, everyone starts looking at me, seeing how I braid or twist it. I am proud to be black because if I come to school with a new hairstyle, everyone starts touching it and asking questions. I am proud to be black because the beauty of my natural hair is so different to others that I stand out. I am proud to be a beautiful black woman.
I'm proud to be a black woman, proud to have the features of a black woman, the distinct nose, plump lips, the stride of my step, the span of my hips, the subtle curves to be flaunted and embraced, not to be made uncomfortable displaced. Proud to possess these beautiful features, silhouette figure, and captivating demeanour. I'm proud to be a black woman, a beautiful black woman, that's me.
I'm proud of my skin, proud of the melanin. I love my dark skins, light skins, and mediums too, and I won't forget my albinos. I'm proud to have African in my DNA, proud to be dark like Nkeundum, light like Tando, medium like Lupita and Anai. I love the uniqueness of my skin.
My culture is what makes me proud to be a black woman because it makes me feel special. In Africa, we have a lot of bright coloured clothing as it shows a symbol of creativity, status and allegiance to the African tribal roots. We also have a lot of instruments like the djembe, a type of drum, and orokora, string instrument. My favourite is the mbira because it is played a lot in my country.
Plantain, jollof, ugali, mandazi, these types of things remind me of family.
I'm proud to be black. I'm proud of my music that brings joy to my ears. I'm proud of my music that brings together all my peers.
I'm proud to be a black woman. Like Surgeon in Truth, I'm proud to face injustices head on. Like Katherine Johnson, I'm proud to contribute to science and astronomy, although I face racism and misogyny. Like Rosa Parks, I'm proud to be the spark that lights the fire of rebellions. Like Mary Seacole, I'm proud to build hospitals without being scared of the consequences. I'm proud of women of my heritage like Princess Yenaga, who led armies of men. I'm proud to be a political figure and fight for my country's freedom like Queen Nzinga. I'm proud to be confident like Rihanna. I'm proud of every single black woman who has impacted history in her own way.
Don't tell me I'm not black enough. Don't tell them they're too dark. Don't tell her that her hair is gross. Your opinion's not a part of this. Don't look him up and down like that. Please don't touch her hair. Don't ask them where they're really from, then act surprised when their answer's not Jamaica, Nigeria, Zimbabwe. In fact, we're from your area, Southampton, UK. Don't tell me to get over myself. Don't tell me that I can't. I know me well. I know I can. Don't obscure my chance. She is great. He's courageous. Our skin holds power and you can't make us something we are not. Suffering, distressed, starving, powerless, in a spot of trouble. She has potential. They have possibility. He has a lifetime full of opportunity. Try as you might. Try if you must. Your efforts, your actions, your words will not suppress us.
I'm delighted on behalf of Solent University to be supporting Southampton's Black History Month, and I'm particularly pleased with the theme this year, Her Story. It reminds me of Maya Angelou's call for us to celebrate our sheroes, and I'd like to tell you about two of my shero colleagues at the university. The first is our Pro Vice-Chancellor, Nonna Macduff. And Nonna brings her experiences as a black student and black academic to bear on our work here. And Nonna is leading the way with our Race Equality Charter and our inclusive curriculum work here at the university. My second colleague is Sharon Lloyd, course leader of our groundbreaking hair and makeup course. This is an industry that is beginning to realise it needs to celebrate black culture, and Sharon is playing a huge role in creating the future pipeline of people for this industry. I'm absolutely proud and delighted to work with both my sheroes, and I hope other people will get the opportunity to meet them through Southampton Black History Month.
I'm Sonia and I'm chair of the Staff Bay Network here at Solent, and I've been asked to talk a little bit about a woman of colour that's inspired me. So I thought, locally, nationally, about all the amazing work that goes on in Southampton and beyond to really, further the story for us. us. And then I thought, actually, for me, what's inspiration was a little bit closer to home. So I just want to take the opportunity to celebrate my grandma, who came over to the UK in the 60s from India by way of Africa, where my granddad was a civil servant. She came over here, worked 2 jobs, raised a young family, and still managed to find time to build a community, and that was with the local Asian immigrants, but also Jamaican and West Indian immigrants. And I think she saw a lot of commonality in our experiences, and she worked really, really hard to ensure that her kids and her grandchildren would have that sense of community that maybe was lacking when she first came here. And she is one of many, many women who did a similar thing, all whilst working, whilst raising a family. And I think quite often their stories aren't heard, they're not celebrated in the way that they should be. So this is why I wanted to take the opportunity to thank her, basically, and tell her how much she inspired me, and I wouldn't be where I am today without her.
I am holding up Katherine Johnson, Dorothy Vaughan and Mary Jackson for her story in Black history. Despite starting their careers in segregation era America, with having to deal with racial and gender discrimination at work, school and at home, these 3 pioneering mathematician and engineering women whose calculations for NASA were integral to several historic space missions. They were even instrumental in one of history's greatest operations, including astronaut John Glenn's successful orbit of the Earth.
I am holding up Maya Angelou for her story in Black history, a legendary poet and civil rights activist. This is a woman who experienced childhood abuse and was traumatised severely by it, leading to selective mutism. And yet it is her speech and her words that she has left us with that inspires the world today. Such an amazing, loving woman that has taught me to love myself. One of her quotes that resonates and speaks to me is the one that says, "If you're always trying to be normal, you will never know how amazing you can be."
I'm holding up Josephine Baker for her story in Black History Month. She was the first Black woman to star in a major motion picture. She helped the French resistance in World War II. She refused to perform in front of segregated audiences. She is a role model and a huge influence for multicultural and multinational through the family that she created by adoption. Josephine Baker.
Well, thank you to all the contributors for that theme. It really sort of hit the note there, and particularly to St George's College teachers and students encapsulating this year's theme perfectly. Thank you so much for that. So in a year, moving on to our next item, in a year like we've had this year, and where in the last few months in particular there have been a lot of conversations about raising our young people to be the best they can, and how important that is. And with the continual endeavour to eliminate long-standing stereotypes, negative stereotypes and negative narratives about young Black youth, it gives me enormous pleasure and pride to introduce our next item, a performance from 2 boys who have stepped forward to offer their commitment, humility and talent. Well, this is more than just a musical item. It typifies everything positive and inspirational about young role models. What's more, untypically, for boys of their age, they've stepped forward with their busy agendas and given us their time. And to be more importantly than that, we didn't have to ask them twice. here is, well, check it out.
Sometimes in our lives, we all have pain, we all have sorrows, but if we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on far. It won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. And you can call on a brother when you need a hand, 'cause we all need somebody to lean on. And I just might have a problem that you understand. We all need somebody to lean on. Please swallow your pride. If I have things you need to borrow for, no one can know those of your needs that you will let show. And you can call on a sister if you need a hand, 'cause we all need somebody to lean on. And I just might have a problem that you understand. We all need somebody to lean on. If there is a load you cannot bear, you need to carry. I'm right up the road, I'll share your load. If you just call me, call me, call me. If you need a friend, I'll be there till the end. You can call me, call me. If you need a friend, I'll be there till the end. Call me.
Well, that's almost it. Thank you to everyone that's contributed to our launch today, and especially to MAST for hosting our event. Our magazine, which is sponsored by Adbury Group, is now available online, and the hard copy will be available from October Looks, hopefully in the next couple of days. Also from Southampton Library, or drop us a line at blackhistorymonthsouth@gmail.com, and I'll make sure we get a copy out to you. It's full of some great articles, and it has a list of some of the events going on in the city throughout the month. A big thank you to Josh McGowan and his team from SBS Events for bringing all the tech and getting everything sorted for us today and keeping us on air. And thank you to all of you for coming and joining us. So all that remains from Veronica, Olu and myself is to say welcome to Black History Month, Southampton 2021.